Hi, welcome back. Welcome back to Whoops with C++ session 2. In last video, we have discussed about evolution of programming languages, where there we have discussed about programming languages are evaluated in three types: machine level, assembly level, and high level languages. In today's session, we are going to discuss about classification of high level languages. So, when you talk about high-level languages, these are the modern programming languages which most of the software engineers are using. Now, coming to high-level languages, uh, any high-level language, if you take, there will be only two entities present. Either it might be data or it might be algorithm. Either data or algorithm. Algorithm means functions or logic what we are writing. If you take any of the programming language, so you cannot see a third entity which is apart from these two. Either it might be a data or it might be an algorithm. Okay, so when we come to high level languages, the greatest advantage of this high level language is modularity. Modularity is nothing but breaking a large amount of code into small units and which we are calling it as modules. That is the one of the biggest advantage of high level languages. So you need not to write lengthy codes, lengthy of codes in a single file. You can differentiate into different modules, and these modules all together you can link up to get the final executable or final output of the program. And this modularity is achieved by functions in high level language. So as you know already, functions are a set of instructions grouped together to perform a specific task. Please underline this statement. Functions are set of instructions grouped together to perform specific task. So don't write, if you are writing any function, make sure that that function is going to do a specific task only. Say for example, if you are writing a function to calculate or to display employees information, make sure that that function's responsibility is to only to display employee information. Don't do any calculation in this employees information. Say for example, you are trying to display employee information, but in that you are also trying to calculate the salary of the employee, and also you are writing the code to calculate income tax information. All those things you are writing. So avoid such type of things and keep the module as simple, as small as possible, and make sure that that functions are focusing on a specific task and it is designed for a specific reason. So make them from now onwards start thinking of a single responsibility of the functions. Okay, so these functions are also called as algorithms, or we can also call modules, small modules. Um, and these functions will act on data to process. So as I said, we have only two entities. One is data and another one is function. So functions will act on data. And when it comes to data, it is an entity on which operation of functions are going to act. As and all high level languages consist of only these two entities, as I said, data and algorithm. We can also call it as functions and modules. Okay, so now based on sorry, so based on the importance given to functions or data, high level languages are classified as two categories, two types. Okay, so one is procedural level language and another one is object model language. Just think about say for example, if I say write a program to find, I am assuming that you people might be knowing little idea, you are having idea on C programming, some of the procedural level language. So assume that you are going to write a linked list program. So when I say write a linked list program, the very, or if I say swap swap, write a function to swap, then immediately what you will do is you will write a swap function to swap. But you will never think about on what data I have to perform this swap operation, whether I have to perform an integer data or whether I have to perform the swapping operation on the character data or some float data. You will never think that. So only thing is our focus will be more on the function side, logic side, or algorithm side. Okay, so that is the uh, that is the thing we are following in procedural level language. And when it comes about object model languages will focus more on the data part, less on the functions. In the upcoming session, we will see what will be the effect of what is the problem of this not giving more priority than priority to the data. So we will always think always logic is the key thing. Logic is the key thing, but on which data it is acting, that is important. So that we will see in the upcoming sessions. So as I said now, for based on the importance given to functions or data, high level languages are classified into procedural level language and object model language. Now, as I said, procedural level language uh, here, the programs are divided into small parts which are called as routines, or we can say subroutines, or functions, or algorithms. Okay, and functions are more important than the data. So in procedural level language, we have given more priority on the functions, not on the data side. So the priority is given less. Okay, so coming to procedural level language, the smallest entity in the language is data. And these procedural level languages will follow top-down approach. Example for this procedural level language is, as you know already, C, Fortran, Basic, and Pascal. These are the some of the examples of procedural level language. So here, when I say it will follow top-down approach, that means whenever you are designing any procedural oriented programming, so what we will do is you will take a whole project, then you will divide into smaller units, and finally you will reach to program. So for example, assume that I want to design some washing machine program. So what you will do is your first thought is washing machine. So in this washing machine, what and all I am going to do. Okay, so this washing machine I'm drying and washing, rotating the wheel and spinning the wheel. So temperature adjustment, all this I am going to do. So then your breakup is you are dividing that washing machine project into smaller units like so dryer, spin, washing, like that you assume you have divided into three categories. Now next, from dryer, again what are the information, how you want to write a dryer. So for that you might write two or three functions. Next you for washing you might write two or three functions. For spinning, rotating the motor, you will write two or three functions. So like that you will divide the program. So first you will take the entire entity, whole project, so you will break down into smaller modules, and finally you will reach to the data. The final entity you will reach to the data, that is top down approach. Okay, so now next comes to object model language. So here the program is divided into smaller parts which are called as object. It is in object model languages, data is given more priority or more important than function or algorithm. The data on which you are acting, that has to be proper. Very see, if I say if I am say for example I am writing a calculating salary function. So calculate salary function has to act on the employee salary part. Okay, that is employee salary. On that data it has to work. But it is not like it should not work on the student marks. Okay, so algorithm you write, but on which data it is acting, that is very important. So data is more important than function or algorithm in object model language. and the smallest entity is object here. This will follows bottom up approach. So when I talk about bottom approach, it is exactly opposite to procedural language. So what we will do is here we will design smallest unit. We'll start with the smallest entity, that is object, then we will reach to final program, that is say if you take washing machine only, we'll say as a as a first thing what I need. So I have to rotate. I will say rotating. So for rotating, what is required? I will identify that object. So for to rotate that, what are the use cases are required? Okay. So first we will identify the use cases. Then we will combine that use cases to create some modules. We will combine those modules to create some packages. We will combine those packages to create a entire object. So this is bottom up approach. And example for this object model languages are C Sharp, Java, and Python. So here, if you observe, I have not mentioned C++ here. So why I have not given C++ as object model example for object model language? So that we'll see later. Okay. Yeah. So now, so this is all about the language. So as I said, the high level language is divided into two types: procedural level language and object model language. In the upcoming session, we'll see the how the object model language is divided into, how it is classified. Okay, and after that we will see what are the drawbacks of this procedural level language. Here we have discussed that procedural level language are focusing mostly on functions, not they are giving less importance to the data. Now we will see what will happen if we give less importance to the data in the upcoming sessions. So that's for today's session. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share. Tech Share with Satya. Thank you.